Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm Dr. Janice Hooker Fortman, and this is the Relationship Matters TV show. We are very fortunate tonight to have two financial experts on with us. The theme of this show is your relationship with your money. And now I know all of us want to talk about our relationship with our money. It's very important, especially during this time. I have my first guest this evening, and her name is Kessa Gooden. Hi, Kessa.
Hi, Dr. Janice. How are you?
I was going to say, can you hear me? I'm fine, Kessa. How are you this evening?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so much.
So, audience, viewers, I want to tell you a little bit about Kessa. Kessa is an international motivational speaker. She's a philanthropist. She's an author and a mentor. She's been featured on live TV. You might have seen her on CBS or ABC or Fox or NBC. She is a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse. She's also in magazines and international newspapers. She's the CEO of multiple businesses, including being the owner of CAM Financial Group and All in All Marketing. Kessa has been motivating and empowering men, women, and children worldwide with perseverance, determination, and endurance. She is self-dependent. She motivates, empowers, and she's a mentor to those that need to be uplifted. So what are your issues? You know, we all got some issue, some kind of issue. If it's your relationships, if it's your finances. So today we're going to talk about Kessa's journey from where she started out to where she is now. So Kessa, tell me something. Tell me a little bit about your background. I know it started really at age 14 all the way to becoming an entrepreneur. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Janice, for having me. And my name is Kessa Gooden, and I'm your entrepreneur CEO girl who really love empowering and impact people around the world. And thank you so much for that great introduction. So my journey started at the age of 14, where I migrated to the USA. And after coming here to the USA, I started being on my own because my father traveled overseas and basically left me on my own to figure life out. After 3 months of being with my aunt, I ended up on the street. I've been through foster care, homeless, abandoned building, homeless places. And my journey to entrepreneurship actually started again in the shelter, where I had a friend who actually told me about starting to get licensed to start a business. And I went to school and started getting that license so that I could start my financial firm. And that was 12 years ago. So I rushed over the story, but there's a lot more behind it. But yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's an amazing journey in a nutshell. So now you have multiple businesses, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
About four.
I know one is your financial business, but tell me about your multiple businesses.
So I have a real estate firm, a financial firm, a marketing firm, and also a nonprofit organization as well.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Now, tell me about your nonprofit.
So my nonprofit was founded 12 years ago, and I recently changed the name like 2 years ago. It's called Global Awaken Initiative Inc. And we help the less privileged in Africa, and currently we're helping people in 18 different countries right now through education, self-development, ASSB, assistance to start a small business, and food and clothing as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, what part of Africa?
So we are currently in 18 different countries right now in Africa. So I can name a few. We have Liberia, Uganda, Nigeria, Somalia, Niger, and the rest of them I can't remember.
Oh, wow. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. I know when I spoke with you earlier today, you were just coming off of a conference. And
Yes,
I think you were telling me it's what is it? It's Independence Day.
yes, it's Nigeria Independence Day, and I was on a care conference where we're empowering the youths to help them to start their entrepreneurship journey and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So I'm going to ask you this. You have all these multiple businesses and it's a wide range. So what made you start with taxes and, in the financial area?
So, yeah, so the financial area was a friend of mine. I was in the shelter and he told me, he said, hey, come work with me in my firm. And I went to work with him in his firm and I was doing well. And he said, okay, how about you go and start your own business? You know, you can do this. You've been helping my firm. So go ahead and start your own business. And I did that. I started my own business in the garage.
Oh, okay.
I started it in the garage and later expanded fast, really, really fast. My first year was over, I made multiple six figures my first year.
Oh, gee, girl, you need to mentor me. And so you like preparing taxes. So that means that you must really like numbers.
So I love numbers and I really had a passion for preparing taxes before motivational speaking. So now I come from the company more of a management aspect of it and a CEO aspect versus when I first started out 12 years ago. So I have a team of people who work on the taxes and help the clients and stuff like that. But I mostly focusing on getting the company out there, growing the team and building the company.
Okay. So how long did it take you to build your team?
So one set of team first took me about 3 months after starting the company. And then about 3 years ago, I started building virtual teams, which is to reduce expenses. So that took me about 6 months to a year to really get that down.
You are a powerhouse. You are definitely a powerhouse. So let me ask you this. When you were doing taxes and helping people to prepare for taxes, I talked to someone and I said, oh, well, the tax season is over. And he said, oh, no, the tax season is never over. It filing might be over on a particular day, but not the tax season. So, what's the biggest mistake that you've seen that people make when they're filing their taxes?
Oh, yes. So the biggest mistake that people make when filing their taxes is going through a software. They feel that the software is going to save them more money and save them more time. So they go through TurboTax and e-file software and stuff like that's the biggest mistake because they're leaving money on the table. They're leaving a lot of money on the table. If they don't contact a consultant, they are leaving a lot of money on the table. That's the biggest mistake.
Oh, that means I'm making a huge mistake.
If you don't know, if you don't know about the numbers and what you can get deduction for and stuff like that, and you're just inputting in just regular thing off your head without knowing what can be deducted and stuff like that, then you are leaving money on the table. And you're an entrepreneur, so I can guarantee you're leaving a lot of money on the table because you get a lot of write-off and expenses for being an entrepreneur. And if you don't know what to write off and what expenses to claim, when you file through the software, you're leaving all that extra money on the table and you're paying overpaying in taxes.
Oh, whoa. Well, I guess I need a tax consultant or a tax preparer because I thought I was, really doing well. I use, well, I don't want to advertise, but I do use a particular software, starts with a T. And I thought, oh, I was really doing well, but now I know I really, and even, and I am an entrepreneur, but I'm thinking, okay, well, if I get the business version that is telling me all, it shows me all the deductions, but I see what you're saying now. It doesn't, and sometimes I do end up paying, and I don't think I should. So, what is the most important thing that people can do to prepare their taxes? Like right after you file, should you start not, right away preparing for the next year?
I think a very important thing for people to do to prepare for taxes is make sure they have a trusted tax advisor that they can go to. Make sure they have someone that they trust with their paperwork that they can go to and that they know will look after their paperwork next year, so they don't have to worry about anything in the next coming year. Someone that they go to in a regular basis, and make sure that person is also doing the best that they can to make sure you're not overpaying where it's unnecessary to overpay and stuff like that. So having a consultant is definitely very important.
Okay, so let me ask you this too. Now, while you were preparing people's taxes, and I'm sure you, being the CEO, you hear a lot of problems, but what's the worst thing that has happened to you when people bring you the information?
The worst thing I would say that happened to me is like if I deal with a client that maybe is getting audited through an agent, and they're getting audited and the agent is not reaching out to them. If the agent is not reaching out to them, then that become my problem, which in the work agreement, it shouldn't be my problem to take care of that. It should be, the agent's problem to take care of that. So I would say the worst thing is when they're being audited and I have to come in to solve the issue. Now, an audit, it may sound scary and it may sound like, oh, I'm being audited, so I should be afraid. No, you shouldn't be afraid. An audit is just for them to review the information you submit and to make sure that information is corresponding with what is there, with what's on file and what you're submitting. So when you're getting audited, don't feel like scared, like, oh no, my world is turned upside down. No, they are reviewing the information, and any correction needs to be made will be made, and then you'll be on the clear to go. But I know how we in today's society we feel when we're getting audited. We feel like, oh, the world is collapsing, and we have nothing, So yeah.
Wow. I know I was audited once, and oh, I was so nervous, but I had everything. And as a matter of fact, once I took all of my receipts and everything, after she was auditing me, and she said, "You know what? We owe you some money."
Exactly. Exactly.
you know, and but I was very afraid because when you hear about being audited, first of all, it's like, okay, I did something wrong, and now they're going to, I didn't catch it, but they caught it, and now I'm going to have to pay more money or some money or something like that. But I like the way that you explained it, in that you really should be afraid of being audited. So I'm,
As long as you have all your paperwork in order, as long as you have all your paperwork in order, you shouldn't be afraid of being audited. So have all your ducks in a
okay.
row. Dot
So
all
we
your
have
I's and cross
something,
all your.
dot my I's and cross all my T's. So we have, Robert Brooker says, I remember after filing a few years ago of not doing so, they said thank you and sent me $7,500. So I said, you're welcome. Okay, Robert. That's pretty good. And he also says, my mother does my taxes. She finds she finds money all over the place. It will be a challenge to find an accountant that can measure up to her. Well, you know, Robert, you are extremely lucky. You are
Yes,
extremely lucky.
you
Yes, if
have
you
to have
found,
that to be good at it. Yeah.
because first of all, you know, mom is always going to take care of you. Always. So
Yes.
she's always going to have
Yeah.
the best interest. That's wonderful. I really enjoy. I know that we're going to, make this brief, because I know that you just come off of this long conference, but I really appreciate you coming. Oh, wait a minute, I've got something else before it says, oh, who is this? It says, Sandy says, lucky him. I haven't experienced that yet. I need your mom, Robert. You know, Robert probably should have said that, because I think I need his mom too.
Yeah. Well, if you guys need to contact someone, other than Robert's mom, I'm here. I'll be able to assist you guys to look over your paperwork and check your back taxes to make sure you didn't leave any money on the table and stuff like that. So I'll be able to assist you guys, or my company will.
Okay, so what I've done is put your website up for people who would like to contact you,
Oh,
and
camfinancialgroup.com.
it's www.kessagoodandteam.com. So
That one is my site.
that's your what? That's your website.
That's speaker site. That's my speaker site.
Oh, that's okay. So do you have a different website, or
Yes.
do you have different contact information?
www.camfinancialgroup.com.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm
Cam.
gonna www.camfinancialgroup.com.
.com. Yeah,
Okay,
KAM.
so
Yeah.
all right, so let me put that in there. There you go.
Have you always wanted to start your own business, your own nonprofit? Are you a closet entrepreneur? Well, Kessa Gooden can help you set up everything from your 501c status in less than 90 days. Help with business taxes and back taxes. She's your personal business assistant. So contact her today at www.camfinancialsgroup.com. That's KAM financialsgroup.com.
There you go. Okay, so I want to make sure that people can get in contact with you. It's www.camfinancialgroup.com. Thank you so much, Kessa. I really, really appreciate it. Oh my God. Robert, I'll put something else what Robert says, and then I'm going to let you go. He says, she does do taxes for a few folks. She worked briefly at H&R Block, but left after she realized that I guess you say that they didn't know much. Yes. Thank you so much, Robert. So thank you so much, Kessa. And if anyone wants to reach Kessa and get your taxes done and make sure that you don't get audited, and even if you want to reach her, if you need her to come and speak somewhere for you, if you need some motivation, if you need some inspiration, and if you need to be mentored, get in contact with Kessa. Thank you so much, Kessa. So you have a beautifully blessed evening, and hopefully when COVID-19 is over, I'll be able to come to Nevada and visit you.
Thank you so much, and you're very welcome anytime. Thank you so much. Have a great
All right.
Have a great week, okay?
You too.
Thank
you too. Bye-bye. Bye. Well, that was great. You know what? I'm like, oh, okay. So I shouldn't be afraid that I'm going to be audited. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Well, right now we have sponsors and we're going to go to a couple of commercials and we'll be right back.
Have you always wanted to start your own business, your own nonprofit? Are you a closet entrepreneur? Well, Kessa Gooden can help you set up everything from your 501c status in less than 90 days. Help with business taxes and back taxes. She's your personal business assistant. So contact her today at www.camfinancialsgroup.com. That's KAM financialsgroup.com.